Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Two Legs. It's your old friends, Tom and Andy. He said, didn't you guys just go live 2 days ago and they geeked out about Star Wars? We did.
We did.
We, we did. And we're back. This is the first of our kind of Wednesday summer chat series. Tom and I kind of kicked it around an idea to go live once a week during the summer, and Wednesday is going to be that day. Break up the week. Times could vary. Could be night, later on the Eastern Coast, or could be a little earlier. But going to try to stick to Wednesdays and kind of just kick it around. Some of our other favorite collaborators do that. Joe does it. Kit does it on occasion. So, and
Yeah,
if anything
yeah.
kind of comes across our plates, we'll kick it up and just kind of engage with our fans. If anybody pops on, maybe talk about maybe new stuff we bought. I know we do separate episodes for that, but just a general chit chat and go live once a week just to see how everybody's doing. And it's a chill time of the year, so we thought, why not do it? How are you, partner?
I'm chill. It's doing well. Had a nice easy day at work today, and now we get to kick back and talk McCartney or whatever.
Whatever.
Beatles. Yeah,
Beatles, sure. It
whatever
won't be. It
anybody
won't be
wants.
Star Wars. I promise. We'll give you a heads up if
Hey,
we geek out about those again.
it can come up if somebody wants to. I mean, but yeah,
Sure.
right. But we did that, and that was fun. I had a good time talking about Star Wars with you. Hey, Bulldog, how you doing?
I've just
We'll just
I've gone
sit
down the
here and see.
rabbit hole of just like watching just fan theory videos of Star
Yeah.
Wars stuff after in lieu of that. There's so many videos out there.
There are, there are.
Yes. We
It's
are we are a bit early.
yeah. We just thought that we were ready to go. So
We went.
yeah, so we went.
That's why
So sorry about that.
YouTube leaves it archived. So if you missed it or you missed the first 15 minutes, you can always watch it again. Such is the beauty of
Right.
YouTube.
Yeah. Let's
Hello,
see
Beans.
here. Beans. Our man Beans. What's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. And
Did you see Joe's rant video about transactions and stuff like that? Did you watch that?
yeah. Yeah. It was pretty good. Hey, look, I mean, Liz, some of it's a pain in the ass. I'll
He's like,
agree.
he's like, I just mail everything. I don't do anything electronic. I'm
Right.
like, oh, of course you do, Joe. Of course you do.
Right.
I all respect, but you wouldn't have any of those headaches if you were modern. Just saying.
Well, yeah, I get the wanting to keep the things, private and personal. I get that. There's still a few things that I'll do. I'll call or whatever. Um, and my wife makes fun of me for that because she said, well, you can just go online and have it set up, and I'm like, well, I
Yeah,
like talking to
and you
I
can do
like
it.
talking to people. I
I
like
know.
talking to people.
No, I want those things to be quick and painless as possible, and and insecure. And they've come a
Right.
long way in security with these things, so I feel pretty confident about it. It's not like
Fair enough.
10, 15, 20 years ago. It was a lot easier to hack. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
So I
Right.
understand that, but it was just funny. I woke up in the morning. I'm like, oh, we got a Joe video. What's he ranting about now? It was good though.
Yeah. FD. The Elton John show I'm going to is in November.
Fall.
Yeah, you've already seen him twice, Andy.
Yeah.
You rate. I mean, you liked that first one so much, you got tickets for another show.
I went a few nights later. Yeah. It was great. He was great. He's doing the hits. He's coming back to this area again. In a few weeks, he's playing MetLife Stadium where Paul just was. But I'm not
Right.
going to go because it's going to be the same kind of show. So
Right.
I saw him twice in like a week. So I'm good. Unless he was drastically changing the set list, which he wouldn't do for a huge audience like MetLife. So, I'm good with the two that I saw. And he was great. And I'm really glad that I got a chance to see him. And I'm really glad that Tom and Nikki are going to get a chance to see him too in November when he's out their way.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. And then I've been playing. I got the 2 disc too, so I haven't been. I haven't played this. I haven't played this yet, but yeah, I played the 2 disc in the car. It sounds great.
Oh, and the
And I
demos,
love. Yeah,
the
the
demos are
demos are
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I really you know what, let's talk about the original version with Mick Ronson on guitar. You
Madman.
know, I don't. Yeah, Madman Across the Water, the track, and I gotta tell you, as I love Mick Ronson. I think he's a wonderful guitarist, and I love the stuff he did with Bowie. But it just it's the guitar sounds out of place. I'm glad they
Yeah,
changed it.
it
You
doesn't
know,
do. Yeah, it doesn't do much for me either. I never thought, oh wow, Mick Ronson. It stands out. It doesn't. It doesn't
Mm.
go anywhere.
Right?
I like the finished version. I think that ended up being a bonus track on Tumbleweed, the deluxe edition of
Hmm.
Tumbleweed. It was on that.
Yes, that's
It made its
correct.
first appearance on Tumbleweed as a
Right.
bonus track
Yeah.
on that 2 CD. Yeah. So no, it's a good time. I got a lot of concerts upcoming. I've got 3 concerts in July, so I'm really really excited.
Wow.
I got 3 concerts. I've got John Anderson of Yes
Oh,
on the 14th.
no, no, not him.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I got John Anderson of Yes doing All Close to the Edge with a kind of School of Rock all stars. You guys seen that where like kids play with like the rock stars? These
Mm-mm.
kids are like 14, 15 years old and they play the music better than the real guys. They're incredible. I saw them last summer do this, and
Wow.
they're awesome. So
Mhm.
so I'm seeing him, and then I'm going to see Gordon Lightfoot 3 days
Ah,
later.
okay.
And then about 5 days after that, I'm going to see Brit Floyd, which is like the number one
Ah,
Pink Floyd
right.
tribute band.
We've we've
So
we've catered them when they've been out here. Them, and then there's an Australian Floyd too. I
yes,
believe. Yeah, and yeah, we've catered them too when I was with the catering company. So
yeah,
yeah,
and then August is Billy Joel. So that's my summer, and the fest.
and the
So
Beatles and the
yeah.
fest. Yeah. So have you seen Billy Joel since he's
Oh,
before?
this residency,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
before? Yeah, I've
No,
seen
with the residency. With the
not
residency.
not since he started the residency. No,
Okay.
no. I probably haven't seen Billy since 2013. I saw him New Year's Eve at the Barclays Center in 2013, and I've probably seen him 4 or 5 times between '06 and like 13 or 14. So it's been a while since I've seen him.
Okay.
So
How far is Barclays from Madison Square?
by car or by subway?
Either or.
Well, it's not far. I mean, Barclays Center is in like where the Nets play. It's in downtown Brooklyn,
Okay.
on Atlantic Avenue, and the Garden is Midtown Manhattan on 33rd and 7th. So, that could be I don't know, a 20-minute or half-hour train ride, or if there's no traffic, 15 minutes in the car over the bridge,
Okay.
and you go. It's
Okay.
maybe
All right.
15, 20 minutes, or it could take an hour.
Right.
It's a new arena. It's where I saw Elton. It's where I saw Elton the
Mhm.
second time, and I've been there I saw the Who at Barclays. I saw Paul at Barclays in 2013. It's a nice venue.
Mhm.
It's much more higher because you don't have a lot of space in Brooklyn, so they can't build out. The seats are very like this, like they're very up, very very high. So
Okay.
it's a different kind of venue. Cool,
Gotcha.
cool Bulldog. Gonna see Brit Floyd.
Have you seen the Australian Pink Floyd,
I have.
Andy?
Oh, I have.
Okay. What do you like? But which one do you like better?
I've only seen them. I've never seen Brit Floyd, so I can't
Oh,
compare.
so this is the first time you're seeing Brit Floyd then?
Never seen them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Superstar seen Elton John around '86 at Madison Square Garden. Okay. Got up and bowed after every song.
Well, he
That might
wasn't.
be
Yeah,
overdoing it a little bit.
maybe, and he wasn't sober by then either. So
Mm, gotcha. I did pick up that Elton John with the live with the Australian uh, sympathy. I'm sorry, symphony.
Symphony. What
Yeah,
from what on in '87?
80. Yeah, I think it was '87. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, was that a new?
yeah.
Is that a new vinyl pressing of it?
No, no, I just rebought the CD.
Oh, the CD. I got you.
Yeah, yeah. I think it is on vinyl too.
It is. Well,
Yeah,
I have an original vinyl. I don't know if it was redone.
I think it's been reissued.
Has it? Yeah, I have an
Yeah.
original one, which is fine. For me.
Hmm.
Joel did some
Hmm.
shows outside of New York City. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's nice to see him getting out there. Because he is popular in other places. So
Yeah. Hey Tim, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, while I was doing with the catering company, I did 5 Billy Joel song
Yeah, and you were Billy Joel,
shows.
and you were Billy Joel'd out.
And I'm Billy Joel'd out. Yeah, I did what Dodger Stadium, which was probably the craziest of them all.
Hmm.
Texas, Vegas, Phoenix, and I think I'm missing one too. But yeah.
Is here and there worth getting? Absolutely, here and there is worth getting. Get the CD version. Don't get the LP because the LP is just a single disc. Get the expanded 2-disc version. Are you familiar with this one, Tom, or no?
No, no.
So here and there was basically one of his last albums that he did initially when he was on DJM, a contractual thing. And
Mm,
here and there meaning here, London, there, New York. And why I say get the expanded one on 2 CDs because you get it's the Madison Square Garden performance with Lennon from November of '74. It's that full show, plus the John
okay.
appearance, plus
Hmm.
Lucy in the Sky, saw her standing there, and um am I forgetting the other one? Lucy in the Sky, saw her standing there, and whatever gets you through the night, obviously.
Okay.
So definitely here and there that's part of Elton John's classic years. You know, remember the first run on CDs.
Yep.
It's part
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
It's part of that series. So that's a must own.
Okay. Cool. We got Pete Bailey here. How you doing, Bailey? Bailey's over there in the UK. So thanks for
Huh.
popping in, buddy. He's got a great Instagram
He does.
Instagram page. So check that out. Pete Bailey shows a lot of from his collection, and he's got a collection. I tell you, I mean,
Great
it's
collection.
great collection. Yeah, great collection. So go ahead and check out his Instagram. Um, Let's see
Yep,
here. Yeah, 2 CD. Okay.
definitely. And it's
Um,
cheap too.
yeah. Let's just go. I mean, because the Monday night we talk on Talk More Talk, my other
Yep.
show, we discussed the Driving Rain album, and I know we discussed it, last year with the ranking of the track. So it's been a while since we talked about it. And if you guys in the audience here, and if you guys didn't see Talk More Talk this past Monday, let us know what your thoughts on Driving Rain and where you put it in his canon. But have you listened to it recently, Andy, at all, or are you still?
I have not.
Hmm,
That's an album
okay.
where I can pick and choose the tracks that I like the best and only listen to them. Hey,
Okay.
Robert S.
Hey,
I'm
Rob
sitting in the
Steer
airport.
music.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
man. It's my
I'm
fellow.
listening. Yeah, I'm listening to the Abbott Brothers now, Rob, and I'm really enjoying the 2 CDs of theirs that I have right now. So I'm definitely going to pick up some more of their stuff. So thank you for the recommendation on that, Rob. So
Yeah, Driving Rain's a record I could pick out the 3 or 4 tracks I like best and just listen to them. I don't really have the patience to listen to that whole album start to finish these days.
mm,
Your Loving Flame, Riding into Jaipur, which I now have a newfound appreciation for, thanks to Dylan Seavey.
hmm
Magic, she's given up talking, and maybe Back in the Sunshine Again, and that's about it.
wow.
And of course, Heather, the song Heather, which I think
Of course,
melodically
Heather.
is
Yeah,
great. That's about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, melodically, Heather is good. I was talking about that one, and
Mhm.
you're waiting like 2 minutes, and it's instrumental, and then the last minute you get,
Ooh, it's like, when's the song going to start?
right, and
Yeah.
it's just like, it's. I would have been fine if it just stayed an instrumental, and then the only
Yes.
thing you hear is him whispering Heather at the end.
That
You
would
know
have
what I mean?
been, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, no, we're just
Did
getting,
you listen?
getting Andy's
Yeah,
thoughts. Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, he's just asking my opinion because that was the
Yeah.
show that Tom did with his other 3 co-hosts there. Did you listen to the album a lot in preparation of your show or no?
I only
Once or
had
twice?
no. I mean, I really didn't need to listen to it because I had listened to it so much when it first came out. I mean, I had the thing playing probably a month or 2 months straight. I mean, that was the only thing I was playing at that time. So I mean, that thing's like embedded in my brain.
Yeah.
But no, I listened to it once, and just to see if I would have any other, different feelings about any of the songs that, I didn't really appreciate then. But
so much anticipation with that record because
right,
following Flaming Pie and Linda's passing,
right,
after Run Devil Run, there was a lot of hype for that record. I remember thinking, oh yes, another Paul studio album. It's going to be as good as Flaming Pie. And then it was like, whoa, this is definitely a
right.
kind of a different kind of record here.
Yeah.
Um,
And it didn't need freedom. I wish
no,
freedom was just left off of it. And you made that comment that I thought was probably pretty accurate, saying that it was a mistake of him to do, new songs. Or was that you that made that comment? It was a mistake for him to do at the
concert for
New
New York
York,
City,
New York City,
major
right?
major mistake to bust out Lonely Road and From a Lover to a Friend
Yeah,
at that concert for New York City. Not a wise decision at that time for him. Freedom, fine, I
mhm,
get it. That's what he was. That's what the event was for. Okay, but to say, oh, here's the song, and all the proceeds are going to go to the Two Towers, and and go into From a
right,
Lover to a Friend. Really, not a. No, he
right,
opened up with I'm Down, which was great,
right.
but then
Hmm.
to not, that should have been a time when where you want to just hear like the hits. That should be Hey Jude, Let It Be, Lady Madonna. People want to be up at that concert.
Right,
It's one of the
right.
most important concerts in our lifetime. And the Stones got it. Bowie understood it. The Who certainly did. But
Hmm.
not one of Paul's better moments as a live performer. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Trim it down 10 songs.
maybe not 10, but trim it down a little bit.
Now
You know,
that's the one. That's the album that probably would have made a good EP.
yeah,
But no, I'm just teasing. But
that and the artwork too was like Mushad. If anybody's out there in
yeah,
Italian that
I
understands
mean,
that slang.
I could get the appeal at that time because it was a camera. I mean, it's a watch camera.
Yeah,
And it's kind of
which we all
cool. Yeah.
have now.
Now we take that for granted. But funny stuff. But yeah,
I remember him being on Larry King, showing
hmm
Larry the
hmm
photo, and then
photos,
Larry
right?
King's photo ends up being on the back cover. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
Andy, which were your favorite to visit? Okay. Boy, huh? Where to start? I liked going to Yay Crack, which was a pub near the Institute, which is where another watering hole that John used to hang out. I liked going there. Uh, the pu- you know
Tim.
the Tim, yeah,
No,
the
with his comment.
artwork matches. Yes, he's not wrong. Um, Sefton Park. I liked walking to Sefton Park quite a bit, which was in the Eggbirth section of Liverpool, not too far from the Dingle, where Ringo grew up. Sefton Park, and Paul talked about going to Sefton Park. A lot of early Beatle memories there, which was nice. Just walking to Calderstones Park, seeing Eleanor Rigby's grave, seeing John's home. Liverpool, if you've never been there, you think it's just a little city and that's it. There's lots of different neighborhoods that make up that town. It's that's so other areas, Norris Green and where the Casbah Club was, West Derby. That's further out. It's not near the city center, which is where all the clubs were. You go out a little bit to the outskirts, like Ormskirk and stuff like that. So hello,
Right.
Kit.
Yeah, we got Kit, we got Tom, we got Christian, we got Ollie. Thanks you guys for popping in. Was there any place that you didn't like to go? I mean, was there a spot that you went that you thought you'd enjoy but you didn't enjoy or anything like that? Or was there any,
Maybe
you
some
know?
of the areas that weren't the best, like in
Yeah.
Toxteth, which is again where Ringo's. It's still not a great area, so I didn't traverse to any of those places too late at night. Toxteth or the Dingle, especially Toxteth. It was a little bit of a rougher section.
Mm,
Wouldn't go too near there. Yeah, walked around Woolton. My college
hmm.
campus was in Woolton. At Liverpool Hope.
Okay.
So you speak. Yeah, I had a friend of mine that lived in Speak, obviously, which is where our kid is originally from.
Right.
So yeah, it's generally, and that's not too far near the airport is. Kit, yeah, was there last there in 2000. It has. In 2008, it was the European Capital of Culture. In 2008,
Mm,
so it's Beatles-related tourism, especially post 1980, has been off the charts because before 1980, it was not celebrated at all. The city disavowed. They disavowed the Beatles. They did not embrace the Beatles at all. They didn't. So in that, studying that history, that Liverpool history, is incredible, because then obviously after Lennon dies, the tourism factor kicks in, and the city council realizes that there's a buck or a pound to be made there.
Oh, pound to be made for sure. The pound was not sinking when that's
not after 1980. All they had was the Matthew Street, the four lads that shook the world statue. I'm sure you've seen a photo of that. So that's all they really had. And of course there was Beats. It was Beat City. There was and of course the Beatles Museum now on the Albert Dock is fantastic. Yeah, it was in the 80s. So Maggie didn't do the justice there for a while. Not getting political, but yeah.
Right.
So yeah, no, definitely Kid. You got to go back, Kid, for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely on the it's definitely on the bucket list to do for sure. I gotta try to do like a good 2-week stint though. You can't just do it in for a weekend.
No, I mean they have even the Hard Day's Night Hotel, which is right off of Matthew Street. That was just an abandoned building, so that became like a Beatles central right in the heart of downtown. So all that stuff has now become so profitable for the city. So and I'm sure it costs quite a lot to go there.
Yeah.
Ethan,
there's our buddy Ethan. How you doing? So yeah, I mean that's cool. I'm and you've got a well sense of the area, so that was really cool that you got to really get to know the area.
I remember getting off the train at Lime Street and thinking, I'm at Lime Street Station in Liverpool when I got there. I'm like, this is incredible. And that was back in the day. You used to call for cabs. Like now you can Uber. They were ahead of the curve years ago. You just call for a cab and they'd come and get you, because there was those, and then there was like the official black cabs, the proper ones with licenses. And those guys didn't like if you called, Joe, the taxi guy, to come get you, because they weren't licensed, but they were usually cheaper.
Okay.
Well, it's Matthew Street with one T though. I don't think our friend Matt Street probably hasn't been there, but Matthew Street in Liverpool is with one T.
There you go.
He's got to go.
Yeah. Well, again, we're just up here shooting the shit. So if you guys have any questions, we can you want us to answer or ponder, please feel free to shoot away with those. I did pick something up recently that I actually really enjoyed watching this. And we talked about when we were at the fest in Jersey, we got to see Mark Lewison talk a bunch about the Beatles and India. But this is the feature-length documentary film Beatles and India, and Lewison does appear in this, and he's in it for several times. He appears on there talking about different aspects of the Beatles and India. And I really enjoyed this because it's just not the Beatles. What they did, it's how the Beatles impacted India as well. So there's a lot of people from India, and they talk about like the shop owners who sold instruments to them, and people that were around with the Maharishi, and musicians and stuff like that. So it's definitely in my opinion, worth watching. It's like a few things I didn't know, like after the fact. Decades later, George went to go see Maharishi and talk to him. Again, Paul took 2 of his kids to go see the Maharishi. Decades later. That part I didn't know. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But man, what Magic Alex was a little weasel.
Yeah.
If learning a little bit more about him, just a little weasel.
Well, that's a great adjective to describe him, because that's exactly what he did. He weaseled his way in.
Oh, weaseled his way in, yeah. Different take. Yeah, there you go, Kit. Yeah,
it's a different take. And interesting that you had mentioned, Tom, is that you look at the probably post Beatles visit India effect that it had on that country,
Hmm.
or that where they were in Rishikesh. What was it like after they left? Shop owners, like you said, were
Right.
like, "Oh, the Beatles were here." What did it
Right.
mean for them in terms of their business?
Right.
Talking about Liverpool business, what did it mean for India as an economy to say that?
Right. Yeah, and then they visit the exact
The
area that they
ashram,
were, and yeah, and how it's been run down, and I mean it's really run down right now. I mean, um, but um, but it's just cool to see that area, decades later,
yeah.
and you know, and
Lewis
yeah,
and if you're going to the Chicago Fest, and hopefully he'll speak about it again. His
mhm,
presentation that he did, Mark Lewison did on 2 days, was absolutely
yeah,
incredible. Tom and I caught most of one day of it, and it
mhm.
was absolutely fascinating to watch Mark give his lecture on the Beatles in India and show us new footage that was recently unearthed, and it was a wonderful presentation. So
Yeah, he does a great job with those presentations. I mean, the presentation he did on the White Album for that Monmouth
symposium,
symposium, off the charts. I mean, it was over 2 hours long, and I think it was actually closer to 3 hours. But Tom over here says, what was your most memorable McCartney concerts?
go
Andy.
go brother.
Well, I mean, '93. I mean, the first time I got to see him. That will always probably be the one for me. We got to see him at the Pontiac Silverdome, where the Detroit Lions,
Yeah. Hey, that was Barry
used
Sanders'
used to
prime,
play.
man. That's when Barry was still kicking.
Hey, listen. Oh yeah, he was great. But I mean, it was just packed. I mean, this place was huge.
Closed or
And
open, Tom?
it was closed.
Oh,
It
it
was a
was.
closed,
It was.
yeah, it was a
Okay.
closed dome, if you want to call it that. But the songs that he whipped out, that I mean, I know, I think I remember he did Another Day. He did Penny Lane. I think he also did Fool on the Hill. So many of my favorites at that time. He did a lot of Off the Ground, which
Sure.
probably wasn't my favorite part of the show, but it
93,
just,
you're how old?
yeah.
How
90.
old were you then?
I'm 20. I'm 20.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was just a great experience to share that with family members that I went with. Great time. Great time.
Yeah, and you
The
did
the shirts that were a little the shirts were a little less desirable at that point in
did
time.
you
The
get a
shirts have
shirt in 93 and do you still
yeah,
have it?
I did. No, no.
Oh,
Um,
damn it. I wanted to see that.
Probably about 75 pounds heavier than
Oh,
what I
God.
was back. And it was probably a large shirt, which was probably not going to fit me now. But it was just like an image of him, from the head to the torso, right around here, and then I think it was like next to a hanging chain or something like that. It was just really,
Weird.
just, yeah, yeah. It was not a very good shirt,
Yeah.
that was the best of them. So, um, whatever. But if I find a picture of it, I'll send it to you, because I
Yeah,
have seen
I'd love to see what that shirt
yeah,
was.
yeah, right. But go
Um,
ahead.
Most memorable for me has to be 2007 at the Highline Ballroom on those secret gig shows for Memory Almost Full, when I waited online overnight in New York City to get my wristband to see him in a room full of 1,000 people, and he was about
Mhm.
30 feet from me. And he played like House of Wax and songs like that, and I'll Follow the Sun. So that, and it was free. I just had to
Right.
lose a night of sleep on a New York City sidewalk with a buddy of mine to do it.
That's all. Just a night's sleep. That's it.
That's all I
You're
lost.
young. Yeah,
I
you're young. You
was.
can
I was in
handle it.
college,
Yeah.
so I'm like, I got to do this. And we had heard rumors that maybe he was going to be doing a gig, and we showed up, and there was like two other people, because it was on. I don't even know if it's still active, the Paul McCartney forum on his official
Mhm.
website. It was on there saying that if you go here, maybe, and you line up, they'll give you a wristband. And a friend of mine went like at 7 o'clock the night before, and there was already like
Mhm.
there was two people in front of us, and then we were the third and fourth in line. And by the night, as the night wore on, more and more people came, and then the line went around the block. So it was
Right.
pretty cool. By 11 a.m., they gave us the wristband and said, "Come on back at 6 or 7 or whatever." So went back
Gotcha.
and freshened up and went to the show. So that one can't be topped.
Right. Yes, 2007 was awesome. My cousin David, who's a Hoffman Forum junkie, he sent us a text, or he sent us a clip from that, and he says, and with a pretty reliable source too, because I have seen this guy's post before in the Hoffman Forum, and it seems pretty accurate most of the time, and it says here, it's a tad early, but at least it looks like a couple of things from the camp to look forward to, and still a couple mysteriously silent.
Macca Wings, that guy.
Yeah, Macca Wings. Yeah, so it looks like we're still going to get a few more things from the Macca camp this year.
Very ambiguously. That's a very ambiguously titled post. Worded post.
Right. So it looks like we're still going to get a few things this year, which is exciting. And I know we all want the London Town and Back to the Egg archives next. So let's hope. Go ahead.
We're gonna get the touring movie and the soundtrack now that he's done Glastonbury. Who know? I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get that soundtrack album.
No, I don't think we're gonna get a soundtrack. But here's the deal. Now, in 2020, when he was supposed to do the Glastonbury show, the one that got canceled, it was stated that there was also going to be a documentary made as well. So I'm thinking that this is still going to happen in some kind of documentary form. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to get the actual performance, but we might get bits and pieces of it in a documentary that's been commissioned by, I think, the McCartney camp for a documentary about Paul and his career, I would think. This has been written about. We talked about it when we did our, an episode about these projects that are talked about but not always realized.
And
and that was one of the things that we talked about,
along with High in the Clouds and all that.
High in the Clouds, the Soundcheck album, and stuff like that. So, Jacob, what do you guys think of Radiohead? I know Nigel is Radiohead's producer, and we'd like to see Paul and Radiohead work together. Well, actually, the singer Tom, I think Paul had asked him if he wanted to collaborate, and I think he turned him down, if I remember correctly. Nigel, I think, was a good producer for Paul. He cut the fat out, and he got him. Actually,
he challenged
him, right? Which was good. I like Radiohead. I don't like them as much as I used to. I still think Kid A, for me, is my favorite album of theirs. Let's see here.
I'm this way, that way. I like a couple songs, but I'm not a huge. OK Computer. I like some of that, but I'm not I don't know. I don't have much Radiohead in the collection.
Gotcha.
So did everybody pick up their 80th Time magazine specials on Paul's 80th birthday? And do you still have your one when he was 70, which I just found on my bookshelf? Paul at 70, Paul at 80.
Well, 80. We'll get a Paul at 90 in 10 years too.
So haven't thumbed through this, but it looks, Tom and I were talking off the air, just like, he said he stays away from these things because they're just rehashes of the same story. You get some nice pictures and stuff, and usually just 2 pages on his solo career.
Right. I hope that's not the case with that one.
Interesting photo in this one, though, which kind of ties into something else I have to show here. So they've got a section in here, Dark Times, I guess, after Lennon's death, and they've got this photo in here of people holding up the newspaper after Lennon was killed. And funnily enough, a good friend of mine gave me a copy of that same exact paper, the New York Post, from December 9th, 1980. And I'm not huge on collecting paper printed because paper it disintegrates. But there's a few I like. I have a Daily News from 1980. This is a New York Post from 1980, which cost a grand total of 25 cents. And it's, I looked through it, just to go back and look at it. It's like a time capsule. It really is to go through something like this with that. And then he also gave me a copy of the Daily News when the Beatles came, and they arrived. But of course, they're not the headline. The headline is LBJ cut ties with Gitmo. Gitmo, that's the headline, not the Beatles.
Right.
Not the Beatles arriving. cuts Gitmo ties with Cuba. So I like
That's
to,
pretty cool.
yeah, I like to collect some of this stuff. Not a whole lot of it because it's paper and there's no way to put it, but I like to collect a few of these things. Hello, Joe.
Hello, Mayo. How are you doing, my friend? Ollie here. Ollie Perry, you're both going to see Paul when he comes back to a town near you. I definitely, if he comes to Arizona, I mean, after what I saw in California and then after what I saw at Glastonbury, yeah, yeah.
Yep, that's a
Yep,
no-brainer. No-brainer. That is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And hopefully he talks about this little hardcore B-sides, the Die Hard nerd show that he talks about the tour program. You look at the tour program, somebody mentions to him that he should do a show like that. You know, and I would, God, he goes, one of these days I have to do one of the nerd shows. Please. We have two of the biggest nerds right here. Do one. Do it.
What's at the top of your want list?
Of items already released. So like things that we don't have that we want. That's easy. Butcher cover.
Okay.
Give me a butcher cover. And actually, no, Mick and McCartney, I want what Tom has. I want the Run Devil Run 7-inch box, which I've had opportunities to buy, and I didn't get it. And damn it, I didn't.
Yeah. Things that released, you know, I don't know. You know what? That's funny you say butcher cover because I've never had really had a desire for that. You know, for whatever reason. Yeah. Oh, we need to.
Yeah. I'm on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real cheap. Good. Excellent. But that's already out.
That's already out. I mean, what could you think of that you don't already have, right?
I'll tell you. I mean, one of the record stores has a original pressing of Thrillington that I will, you know, as long as he continues to have it, no one buys it, I will. Yeah. I do want to get that soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Anything that I have, I really want already. At this point in my collecting career, I'm very specific about what I want. I like collecting first edition, you know, Beatle albums, first runs. I know Tom's not really into that. I enjoy those. Go looking for first pressings or second pressings, and you know that's why I have like 5 of each. But that's just me.
Right. Yeah, those the Taiwanese records I'm really starting to enjoy. They're so different.
Well, because they're so flimsily made with that plastic covering. You know.
There's the Juniors Farm 45 with them in the you know, with the all dressed up you know, at the poker table. The rule. Yeah. I'm on the desperate lookout for that.
That single.
Yeah, that single. Well, that picture sleeve.
The picture sleeve, which is what country?
I don't recall. I think it was a European country, or it could have been. I don't think it was a U.S. I have to double check. But are you going to go see Ringo during the fall tour? No.
I'm done. I'm down on. I'm a little down on Ringo these days.
Right.
I'm just tired of his shtick. I mean, listen, I love his music. Again, with this, we've never had this.
Well, you know, I've been expecting it.
I'm a little down on Ringo with his current, just this peace and love shtick. I like that he makes new music. I'll buy the new music, but in terms of like going to see him or watching interviews with him, I'm Ringo'd out. I've seen Ringo twice. I don't need to see him again. The All-Star Band has gotten lesser and lesser in quality, in my opinion, over the years. So, I'm just a little down on Ringo. Tim Allen, Columbia reissues. How you doing on those, brother?
I am completely caught up on the Columbia
CD and vinyl.
Not CD, but the vinyl. Yes, I have all the vinyl. However, I wish they did one for London Town. They didn't do a London Town, so I have. I have all the others, including the Columbia Half Speed Master of Band on the Run. on
Yeah,
vinyl.
that was a score. I remember when you got
Yeah.
that. That was a good
Mhm.
score. I have all the
Mhm.
vinyl. I have a few more to go on CD, but I remember I got this not that long ago. This was the Wings Over America on CD
Ah,
on
cool.
Columbia that you get with the
Mhm.
Columbia labeling with the kind of weird and the it's an exact replica of the Columbia LP, which
Okay.
if you're nerds like us, you notice. And Mattinger and Easter do a great job with kind of detailing the differences in the pressings. You've got a couple extra seconds of music and chatter on some of these tracks, and you get the same thing. I got them all on vinyl now. I'm missing a couple on CD, but still working on it.
So before we get to Joe's question there, so Columbia got all the albums out on CD before he re-signed with Capitol, then,
Capitol,
right?
yeah, yes he
Okay.
did. Yep. So they got
Okay.
them all. McCartney, they were all out. So they're harder to come by though. The albums
Right.
are a little bit easier to come by.
Okay,
For
so
sure.
yeah, I didn't realize that they released his. I mean, like I said, we know they released his back catalog on vinyl. I didn't realize that he did it all with CD as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but
Harder.
yeah,
CDs are harder to
but
come by.
right.
Joe,
Mm.
uh, you go first.
I'll go with we all stand together. I really enjoy that song.
I'm going with Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yeah.
Kit, yes. Ringo should shake his arse though. Poor Steve Lukather,
And
him and
right.
he's been carrying Ringo and doing Toto for like 40 years.
Oh. Yeah, I do. Listen, I respect Mary Had a Little Lamb. I think again we talked about this on last week's episode, but yeah, I'll take We All Stand Together. Um, at this moment, we all stand together at this moment. Yes, the very first CDs ever released were all
Yeah,
on Columbia. Okay, cool, Tim.
because he was when the CD format was a thing, he was in
Right,
the middle of his contract.
that's
So
right.
they're harder to come by. I've got Tug of War, I've got Pipes of Peace, I've got Wings Over America. I don't have any of the early ones on Columbia, like McCartney, Ram, Wildlife, Red Rose Speedway. I haven't seen any of those anywhere ever. I'm sure they're on
Hmm.
Discogs, but occasionally you see one and you snap it up.
Mm.
Thought it was great. Glastonbury.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he asked for Paul, so we have to
Oh,
find a Paul.
oh,
I don't know if he meant me or not, but just teasing. Hey, listen, I mean, from what I saw, he knocked it out of the park. Um, he did a phenomenal job, and it looked like everybody in the audience was having a great time. And I wish I could have been there. Um, I had a smile on my face and I had tears in my eyes.
yeah.
From the clips that I saw.
He's saying,
This
and I'm
is
so the reaction from in the UK was very positive. I was very happy to see that the locals, the Brits, really enjoyed it because they've been very tough on him, and everybody
mm,
really enjoyed it, and it was cool. Did you read that little article? There was an issue. There was a
mm,
snafu with getting the performance uploaded to the BBC player, so people to watch it on
mm.
demand. Like it took a day and a half to get it uploaded, and people were pissed. They wanted to,
Oh, I bet.
because you pay a TV
Right.
license in England. If you don't know, you have to pay a TV license to the BBC to have your TV. You can
Mm,
get TV without it, but then you run the risk of the government kind of knocking on your doorstep and
right.
saying you're stealing TV. So
Right.
people were ticked that the show was not available right away. But
Mm. Hey, listen.
yeah,
No, I was very happy. I'm happy for Paul. This is what you want from your favorite musician. You want him to knock it out of the park, a big show like that, and he did so. Let me see here. Pipes of Peace was the last Columbia. Yeah, no. Broad Street was the last Columbia. Right? I mean, if that's what you mean. But give my regards to
yes,
Broad Street
that
was the last
the last Columbia
Colum
release because Press to Play he's already
right.
back on EMI
He's back
in
on
the states.
Capitol and yeah.
In the states.
Yeah.
You're right,
Hmm.
Joe. I agree with you. But there are worse ways to spend one night every few years. Not a bad way to look at it. It is Ringo
Hmm.
Starr after all. We have to look at it that way. but twice was enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and plus he had help with Dave Grohl, Tim. You know?
Yeah. Marcus says, I'm most curious how a John and George plus 50 plus year touring would look like, because they tend to get bored by doing the same things over again. They probably would.
I would think that you would have but the look, honestly though, if you look at that live in Japan from George, half of it's Beatles songs, the other half is solo. So it looks like he would celebrate his Beatle catalog just as much as Paul is doing
Oh, he
now.
needed the money. So yeah.
Well, I know that, but still, he was doing a lot of Beatle tracks.
Taxman, If I Needed Someone,
absolutely,
Gently Weeps, sure.
Yeah,
he knew that's why people wanted to see him.
He did Piggies,
Right.
So
great. That's his best concert. I mean, that's not too many to pick from George, but.
And I can see John changing up his set list. I can see him maybe doing, like a Julia. I can see him doing, Happiness is a Warm Gun. I can see him going all, yeah.
John wanted to redo all the Beatles songs. It was one of his last things he said in one of his interviews. They said, I'd want to redo them all again. And George Martin said Strawberry Fields, and John was like, especially Strawberry Fields,
Yeah.
So John would have been the biggest, I think, proponent of switching things up and throwing deep cuts in there. I think he would have loved that.
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, I would definitely hope so. Yeah. I agree.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think he's going to make a grand statement saying, I'm done touring? I don't think he's going to.
No, if that's it, then that's just going to be it.
And maybe that's what this Glastonbury thing was. That's why the family was there, and Mary, and doing the social media, and it was like a real big homecoming, and it went over well. And maybe he just is going to not tour anymore.
And that's why I think that, because of the fact that with him, in the documentary that was supposed to be his documentary was supposed to end with that show in 2020. So now I'm just thinking, okay, now the documentary is going to end with this show at Glastonbury in 2022. If you go back and you read about this documentary that is supposed to has been in the works for years now, that's what the director said. He said it's going to end with the show at Glastonbury. So now, yeah.
It only just came to me now. Like, maybe, I don't think Paul's going to he's not going to get on a soapbox and say, I'm done. I think he's just going to play it.
Oh, no.
And that's it.
That's it. Hold on one second. Yeah, there's going to be no big announcement. I mean, but we could be wrong too. Maybe he says, 2 weeks from now, he says, well, I'm done touring now. Okay. And then you're going to see a whole lot of people pissed off because they didn't go.
And you can't say over the last 20 years that you haven't had opportunities. My God.
Oh, please. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. It's gotten more and more expensive over the years, but you definitely didn't have a lack of opportunities to see him live. Exactly. Since, like you said, since was it 2002, right?
And even before that, between 89 and 93, you had tons of chances to see him. I mean, he did Madison Square Garden 4 or 5 nights in a row in 1989.
Right.
That's incredible.
I think did Joe, if you're still here, didn't you say you saw him a couple times in that 89 tour? 89-90 tour, so yeah.
Yeah. Bailey says the warm-up gig in Frome was also recorded by MPL. Yeah. And that was so cool. If anybody saw on social media, some of the guys from the 89 band got reunited with Paul, Robbie McIntosh, and Chris Whitten took that photo with Wicks. I'm kind of wondering, was like that kind of like, everybody like, maybe they knew that, like, maybe he only told certain people, this is my last show. I mean, we're overreaching here, but maybe we're overanalyzing, but you just wonder. You wonder.
Yeah. Yeah, so Joe got to see him 4 times for that 89-90 tour. So yeah, plenty of opportunities.
Plenty of opportunities, even before 2002. Oh, I know the 90s, he spent most of it recording albums and doing the anthology, so it wasn't as much. But then, man, since 2002, if you're a Beatles fan and you're old enough, you've had the chance. I know there's some younger people out there that couldn't have seen him back then 20 years ago. And that's why he does what he does. You see, that's why he plays the same set list, which drive us crazy. But there's that 14 or 15-year-old kid in the audience who's like, man, I'm seeing a Beatle. And you have to respect that. You have to respect that.
Yep, true. We talked about this beforehand. I'm just going to bring it up now, just for something else to chat about here. But the documentary called Strange Fruit. Have you seen this before? Do you own it?
I do not.
Okay, this was about the just the Apple core. It's actually just under 3 hours long. So really detailed information about the start of Apple. A lot of people that were signed from Apple are in here. You got a couple couple members of Badfinger. You got
was it Joey Molland or no?
Molland, and then the guy from the Ivories that left the band before they got big. He's saying maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, so the name is escaping me at the time. But you got Jackie Lomax on here as well, David Peel. So
it
and a
sounds
bunch of
good. I've always been one.
It is good.
If it's not an officially licensed product, I go the other way with those things, because there's hundreds of these things out there. And to me, if it's not licensed, I'm not watching it.
I get it. But this is probably the best of the unsanctioned stuff. Ron Griffiths. Thank you, Tim. But it says right on the back, this is not sanctioned by Apple Records or the Beatles. Okay, but a really good story to tell, and I think it's definitely worth
3 hours.
If you do see it.
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Listen, well, the Queen and my partner say they endorse watching it, so I guess my decision's been made for me. So I'll watch it.
Yeah, I think it's some great information in here. Great talking heads in here. So
what year did that come out?
This came out in 2011.
Okay, so a little more than 10 years ago.
And actually, I mean, I've seen this being sold at Best Buy at the time. I mean, it was is this live stream license? Thanks, Norman. But I mean, I've seen this sold everywhere at the time too. But I dig it. So
I remember seeing it. Yeah, it's been probably you've had it, or you just got it?
No, I just bought it for the first time, but I've seen it. Actually, I actually had a bootleg of the bootleg here. So. But no, but this is great. Check it out. I mean, and if you guys seen it before and watching it, let us know what you think of this too.
Yeah. I think I saw it streaming on one of those. Maybe I saw it on Amazon or one of them, or maybe it was off there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Ivies, as they were known, with that Maybe Tomorrow, and which was just a great track.
Yeah. Sun Dodger, curious what you guys think of the A's for Apple books.
That's Tom's territory.
I think they're outstanding. I have the first 3 volumes. I cannot wait for volume 4 to come out, and the work that Axel and the team do for that series is over the charts. We had Axel on the show years ago, before Andy was on the show, and the work, he talked about the work that all goes in it, the people that helped with the book. We also had forgetting the name right there, Sarah Schmidt. So it was like we did two separate interviews and put it into one episode, one with Axel and one with Sarah Schmidt. And because Sarah does a great knockout job talking about the Apple Scruffs,
right.
Which is a must read as well. So those A is for Apple books are gold in my opinion. I can't recommend them enough.
They're not that cheap though, are they, partner?
No, they are not. No, they're not. And you got the Mac Shao book though, right?
I got that one, but that's the same publisher. The Mac Shao book is
exactly.
Tremendous. Hold on. That's a great book, and I'm glad I bought that. Which I think your cousin told us is now out of print.
Yeah, it's now out of print. I mean, they did two printings. The second printing is now done. So I think that's it. But here's the third volume right here, volume 3, the decline. I
So
like.
what's that? That's what. So we're talking about like Alan Klein, 69, 70.
Yeah, exactly. No, actually, it's just April to August of '69. That's all
Wow.
this book focuses on. This thick book is just focusing
You're
on
making me
Apple
jealous. You're making
from
me
April
jealous.
from April to August of '69.
I
But
was about
yeah,
to Google it.
exactly. These books are gold,
Now, when did they
absolute
come
gold.
out? When were they published? And where can you get them?
Um, the website I think is AppCore.
Appcore. Right. Okay.
AppCore, APCOR.
That's the publisher, because I meant App.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, and I think that's also the website as well.
okay.
Um,
Now 3 volumes. So volume 1, what is pre 62? Like, is it like?
yeah, here it's 66 to 68, I believe.
Okay.
Here I'm trying to. Yeah, so part 1 is 66 to 68.
Part
Okay.
1.
Part 1. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So just to get an idea of how the size of these books. I mean, listen, if they charged $125, I think this is well worth the $125.
We got McCartney Legacy coming out too.
Yeah, I know, but that's going to be more of the size of the tune-in book. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's not going to be
the UK one.
Right. We'll see.
Come on, give me that deluxe edition. Come on.
Right. Yeah. So these A's for Apple books, they're priceless, really. I'll show you one thing because they, if I can find it real quick, but there was a proposed a film with John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart, and that was going to be like their third film. So there was an artist. This has nothing to do with the film, but an artist just did what a movie poster might look like if the Beatles did this.
Let's see. Was that Lord of the Rings?
No. It was a Western. It was going to be a Western with John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart. We'll talk about that Understanding McCartney series in 1 second.
That was quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only seeing volume 2 available on their site, so I'm beat.
Okay. Yeah. Which sucks. I mean, these books go quick. That's when volume 4 gets announced, it's going to go quick too.
70 pounds too.
Mm-hmm.
That's well over $100. So
right.
That one waits. That one's going to wait. Sorry.
Yeah. But you can imagine too. So I mean, a lot of information on here. Just a lot of imagery, a lot of like the label, the center label.
The primary source documents. Even I'm just going by the Hamburg Max Schau book because the historical documents that they have in there, the primary sources, letters, news clippings, receipts, things that they were able to save and scan is why it's a great book. And I'm glad I was able to get the Max Schau book because that period, especially 1960, 61 of the Beatles being in Hamburg is such a if you ever, I've never been to Hamburg, but they have their own Beatles museum there, and that's just a whole other history that's worth diving into.
Right. I'm not finding the that picture I want to show you, but yeah.
Find it and post it later.
Yeah, I will. And this was like 166 of 500 copies.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see here. So the Understanding McCartney series, yeah, we've talked about that before.
That's our man Breathless, right?
Yeah. I've been in touch with him too, and unfortunately he doesn't want to do interviews, about the documentary series that he did, and that's understandable. That's fine. Doesn't want to bring a lot of attention to himself, I guess. But
yeah, they're very well done. And then the Understanding Lennon and McCartney, he did one on, which was fantastic as well. Watched that last summer.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys seen the Beatles Bible YouTube channel?
YouTube channel.
Yes.
No. I only know that website. I only know them by the website. I didn't know that they had a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
Because the Beatles Bible guy, he's the same guy that did that the Beatles and the drug book.
Right.
Riding so high. Riding so high. Yeah.
So.
What else is out there?
McCartney exit. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not very indicative of his solo career. Mark, you're right. You walk through the exhibit there, the Beatles story, and it's like you get so you go through the museum right in Liverpool, Tom, and it's kind of like you walk through like a path of like a timeline, right? 1962, NEMS. You see a recreation of like NEMS, the record store and stuff. And then when you get to like the end, they have like each Beatle has their own little kind of corner of like their solo career, and it's just very brief. So yeah,
right.
Mark's spot on with that. It could, McCartney needs his own museum, at this point, and we could be the curators, right?
Yeah,
we'll be the curators. Tim Allen, why would someone spend years researching writing a book then limited? Yeah, you're right, brother. Because it costs. It costs a lot.
Well, again, yeah, it's going to cost a lot to produce 50 or 500 of these, okay? And this is an area that the casual fan is not going to buy this. I mean, so they're banking on at least 500 people, and they've been right to purchase this, and and plus they're self-publishing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had a a big time publisher, maybe they would still be available, and it would have been a bigger printing. But yeah, good question.
It's exactly, Mark. As a UK person, it's been wonderful to see the glowing praise for Macca. Incredible. Exactly. I don't know if you were on at the top when we were talking about it, but I was so happy to see the hometown crowd really pull behind him and support him for that show, because we love him. We Yanks, we love him anyway. We that's just how we are. We do, but it's
yeah, we do.
The hometown crowd can be a little tough on him, and all artists in general, Elton John, anybody that's UK, they're very tough on them over there. So great praise indeed. If it is indeed the end, but we'll see. We'll see. Spot on, Kit. Yeah, that kind of book, full color, hardback, oversized, is very expensive to self-publish, and that's from the the Queen herself. So she's written books and she's published, and she knows. Got a book that size, and they've done 4 of them. Incredible.
Yeah. So the 4th book is going to go up to so it's going to probably be September up until September 69 to April 1970.
Why does this book not start with the early days though?
Because it's just dealing with Apple core. It's just dealing with
Apple.
With everything related to Apple.
Okay,
that's what this book is.
That's what the series is about.
Okay.
It's about Apple. Okay, so it's not an overall history of.
No.
Okay.
No. Correct.
Yeah. So it's just about Apple and the genesis of Apple. Which, if you look, if you look at the back of Sgt. Pepper, you see Apple referenced on the back there, credited. So Apple existed already at that time. It just wasn't the label yet. So even before Brian Epstein passes away, it's still there. But you're right, Mazzy. No, most general people don't want to buy books, or if they do, they're going to buy them, a Kindle, right? They're not going to spend and invest, and that's what you're doing. You're self-publishing, and you're investing in the author who put the work in to do that. And Tom, Tom's done his part with that for sure.
Tony, I've been listening to London Town again, and you ranked it so high. Yeah, it's and what you say too about if it might have been better with Water Spout on it, and maybe we talk. That's why we talk about this a lot, because Paul usually has so many songs during a session and the songs that are left off of it a lot of times are better than some of the songs that are on the album. That's why we talk about that.
Yeah.
And Mayo's going to have a book out someday too, so that can be added to the 15 seconds for sure.
Joe, can I write the forward? Joe, seconds. Can I write the forward in it? Let me write the forward, please.
I'll be right back, buddy.
Okay. All right. Hang tight. Oh, my partner's going to take a phone call. And it makes to Mazzy's point. I have a great book that kind of was my performer professor in Liverpool wrote a book about all the Beatle books you can get out there. It's called the Beatles Bibliography, which then was taken over by his partner, Melissa Davis. And it's great to have a book like that tells you about all the Beatle books, but the second it's out of print, it becomes irrelevant because, as you point, Mazzy, there's more books published all the time. So, but if you ever want to look for a book that actually talks about how many Beatle books are out there, go get the Beatles bibliography.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that is a good.
Well, when did that come out?
So it was initially published in 2012. There was a supplemental edition published in 2014, and I believe Melissa is working on a new version. Melissa Davis was in the first cohort of the Beatles Masters program that I was in Liverpool, and she graduated in 2010. And she worked on the first one with Mike Brock, and she took it off from there, and it's been her thing to do, and it's been a heck of a project to tackle. I mean, I saw them working on it when I was over there, but it's a great bibliography to use just to see what's out there. But again, to Mazzy's point, there's always a book out there, so it's constantly needs to be updated. I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah, got quite a few myself too.
Yeah, not a bad thought, Tim Allen. Waterspout as the B side. I've had enough. Heck, make it the A side. Make it the A side.
Oh, and Kid O'Toole's helping her out. It looks like she is. I'm working on some entries.
I knew it. I knew Melissa was working on it again. I had a feeling she was. That's good. Well, if anybody could help her, it's the Queen. So, yeah, keep me posted, kid. Can't wait to find out when it's going to get published.
Here's a good question by Christian Dahl. Do the Beatles beat Elvis in books?
I'll defer to Mazzy on that one if he's still with us. I would say probably now, yes.
Mayo might know too. I mean, I know Mayo's a big Elvis fan. I don't know if he's a big collector of the Elvis books that are out there.
Well,
but
think about it. We're just talking about the Beatles, okay, as a group, and then solo. I think it's a no-brainer. Are we counting solo books? Or are we counting books about them as
just
a group?
Beatles? Just Beatles. Let's say it's just Beatles versus books on Elvis.
I still think they beat them.
I still think Beatles. Yeah, I still think Beatles.
Yeah.
Come on, Nora. Oh, Mazzy. Yes, Mayo's thinking Beatles beat Elvis and everything. Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what can you say? I mean, the Beatles are 50 times better than the Stones anyways. So I don't care how long of a career the Stones have had. I don't care.
I've often said the worst Beatles song is 10 times better than the best Stones song. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Give me like Honey Don't. Over Give Me Shelter. Like, I'm sorry. There's Beatles.
Well, maybe not that.
No, I'm sorry. There's the Beatles.
Oh, man.
And then there's everybody else. So the Beatles' worst crap is eons better than anything the Stones did. Yeah, I said it. Sorry. That's how it is. Thank you, Christian.
Oh,
I like the Stones. I have the core albums. I have the 60s albums. Beggar's Banquet's a great album. I have a couple of Stones albums, but they're the Stones. And there's a reason why there's like, only a couple books about them. Just saying.
Oh, the Stones are playing at the same day. They're playing the same day as Paul was for Glastonbury, playing in Hyde Park. Didn't the Stones do a big show there in like '69 or something like that?
In Hyde Park, they did. Yes.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
Shortly after Brian Jones died.
Right.
And
right.
Mick Taylor became the new guitarist.
Mark, the Stones have always underwhelmed me. No,
Mazzy, what book is that, Mazzy? I'm curious because I've read most of his. I'd love to know which one that book is, if you happen to know it off the top of your head.
Well, it's probably a medium of some kind, because she's interviewing him after he died.
Yeah.
No
problem. no problem. Yeah. I don't know.
All right,
Yeah.
no biggie, no biggie. Yes, she is. Yep. So, anything else before we're gonna stick around for maybe like 10 more minutes here, and then we got
Yeah, we got to wrap it
5
up.
more minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Well, because listen, 8 years of professional recorded activity versus 50 plus. I mean, how many albums have the Stones done in the last 20 years? Studio albums, not too many, right? I mean, what?
Three maybe,
Three?
four
Let's tell
tops.
Voodoo Lounge. I remember Voodoo Lounge as a kid.
Well, you got the
That was
Bigger
big.
Bang too.
Yep.
You had the covers album too, wasn't? Didn't they do a covers album?
I believe
Not
so.
too long ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, yeah, they're always they're always in comparison. The people are either Stones fans or they're Beatles fans. That's what I've learned in this world. There's Beatles people and then there's Stones people.
Yeah.
Very
Listen,
rare.
I mean,
Yeah.
I had all of those Stones albums on CD, and I listened to them. A lot of them didn't do anything for me, especially those earlier Stones records. They did absolutely nothing for me. I still to this day, Let It Bleed's probably my favorite. Yeah, Blue and Lonesome. Thank you, Tim. Let It Bleed's probably my favorite. I mean, from top to bottom. I generally enjoy every song on that album. But the Exile on Main Street, which is supposedly their
The best of all time. Yeah, I got
the
best
best record.
I got nothing.
I mean, I dig half of it, and half of it I could do without it.
I got nothing with that record. Now, Beggars Banquet, start to finish, I think is a classic.
Beggars is a good one as well.
Parachute Woman, Jigsaw Puzzles.
Love Parachute Woman.
Dear Doctor and Salt of the Earth, which they did at the concert for New York City. That's a great record.
If you want a great version of Parachute Woman, watch or listen to the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus. Kick ass version of Parachute Woman that they do on here. And then this is the one where the Who just knock it out of the park
with a quick one.
With a quick one right here,
yes.
And just blow everybody else out of the water.
I'm trying to convince my other leg there to become a hooligan like his partner Andy, but he only knows a quick one. He's not down the rabbit hole. Come on, Quadrophenia, brother.
I've had that album. I've had
it. Listen to it.
Listen.
You love a quick one, but you won't listen to Tommy or Quadrophenia.
I love this version. Listen, you listen to this version of a quick one and then the album version of a quick one. There's no difference. This is night and day. Night and day here.
It is, but listen to the Live at Leeds version. It's even better than that.
Okay. We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yes.
But they do, Salt of the Earth on this. They do, like I said, Parachute Woman. They do. Why am I drawing a blank right now? But the stuff that the Stones do on here are quality stuff.
Yeah, 68 I think is a high watermark for the Stones. I mean, their 70s stuff. Mm-hmm. It's Only Rock and Roll, Goat's Head Soup. I mean, I think Angie's on that one. That's a good song. Some Girls, of course, is a good album. But that's about it. All about making the stupid dancing. Yes, Ollie, Live at Leeds. The expanded edition, by the way, which is fantastic. And you should listen to it. It's quite good. It's better than it's way better than Endless Wire, which was their previous studio one. Good for us. Last saw the Stones in 81.
Tim, I prefer early Stones, early Who, and early Beatles over later material.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You could be in the right mood for it though. You could be in for a mood to listen to just with the Beatles or A Hard Day's Night. I love all the Beatles music. I could get in those modes where I just listen to, Please Please Me or with the Beatles and just forget about the late because the later stuff is so well known. And I think people are trying to forget how good they were in 62 and 3 and 4. They were on fire and those records are great. I mean, I just went to go see the Fab Four the other night in New Jersey. Probably the best premier Beatles tribute band today. As a tribute act, they charge $100 a ticket. And they did Little Child. They did Little Child and Hold Me Tight from with the Beatles. Phenomenal. Right. That's the power of the early music. And that's, they're awesome.
Mayo said he saw the Steel Wheelchair Tour back in '89. All right, brother. We're gonna wrap this one up.
Yeah, good chat.
Thank you everybody for joining. Not yet. Well, what Tom you talking to? Me? No. The other Tom that's here, maybe he has. I don't know, but it's on my bucket list to do. But everybody, thank you for being out here, and we really appreciate you hanging out. Please hit that like button if you're here and you're not subscribed. Please subscribe to the channel. And we'll be talking soon. Like Andy said at the beginning of this this show, we're going to be here every Wednesday now for the next 2 months or so, and right around the same time, maybe 6, 7, or 8 Eastern time. So it'll probably change every week. But yeah,
it's a
please,
little
please join us.
Wednesday break
Yeah.
up the week chat.
Yes, there you go. Break up the week. Hump day with McCartney. Hump Day and McCartney, whatever you want to talk, well, however you want to call it.
Thank you, punk guy.
But yeah, but thank you for that. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Kit. Thanks, Mark, Mazzy, Tim, Beans, Ethan, Mayo, Christian, everybody that's here. All our regulars, Ollie, Tony, and the Queen. Like I said, punk guy, Mark. All you guys are great. And we'll see you guys next week. So take care, everyone.
See ya.